we've got a lot of activity in the portal. Real quick, again, backflip spaghetti in the chat saying over 4K players, 4,000 players in the portal is ridiculous. I agree with
Ridiculous.
him. It's crazy how many people are just transferring left and right. But Austin, nevertheless, we've got some departures and some that are good, some that are bad. And then we've got a lot of targets. So, brother, do you want to talk us through currently the new departures that we have in the portal?
Yeah, and just to touch on the chat, the conversation you started just now, Blake, I believe I saw a stat that 30% of college football is currently in the transfer portal. So 30% of the active players, and I believe that includes like players that haven't made it like to campus yet. Like that includes freshmen. If I'm not mistaken, could be wrong about that. But 30%? 30% hit the portal? That's absurd. And it's hit us as well. We kind of talked about last show, Blake. We're sitting here saying, well, maybe we'll keep all of our good players and nobody will leave. That's kind of what we were hoping. Didn't actually play out that way. A couple of names we had actually discussed, funny enough, last show have since hit the portal. One, we'll start with Lance Hurd. Lance Hurd has hit the transfer portal. We actually debated last show, will he be an NFL draft guy? Will he declare for the draft? Likely not, since he played in the bowl game. Excuse me, y'all. Since he played in the bowl game, he probably won't declare for the draft. But he did hit the transfer portal, and the reports that I'm seeing, and this is Twitter, I'm like the rest of you, I'm on social media, I'm looking for updates, I'm looking at articles, like that's how I get my news. There's sometimes there's conflicting reports about things, but on the Lance Hurd situation, what I heard is he wanted $3 million. He wanted $3 million after we had already been paying him $1 million per season to play here. And let's be clear, that first season was abysmal. Okay. And it turned into,
Yes.
and we've been praising him all year, Blake, it turned into, okay, this has been pretty good. Like this has been, at least he is a average to above average at this point, an improvement upon last season. However, immediately when he gets better under the development of Josh Heupel, what does he do, Blake? He turns the gun at the program and says, pay me more money or I'm leaving. And that's exactly what happened. And unfortunately, and I'll just tag on to this, I know you probably want to say something about Hurd, but I'll just tag on, we also lost a depth piece at tackle that could potentially replace him, and Warren Bennett also hit the transfer portal.
Yeah.
So it is going to be an interesting discussion how we, plug the tackle need.
Yeah, I mean it's definitely a big loss, but man, it's crazy. Just this environment right now, brother, in college football with these players who, and what we're going to touch on the Ricky Gibson situation as well that Dylan just talked about in the chat, because that's another one that's kind of crazy. But man, you made a great point, man. It's like Lance Hurd, okay, he bounces back, he has a great season. We're
Yep.
super high on him. We love the guy now, and then he just immediately turns the gun and is asking for QB level money. And it's just, man, it just at some point you've got to sit here and think like, do these players not realize that money's not infinite, right? And that, you know, in order to have a good team, we can't just pay every single person $5
Yeah.
million a year. I mean, that's just not, it's not sustainable. So very unfortunate about Lance Hurd. Definitely going to have a huge need on O line. But then also, Austin, speaking of cornerbacks, we were talking about cornerback development with Willie Martinez and new cornerbacks coach Michael Hunter Jr. Michael Hunter Jr.'s got a task set out for him because Ricky Gibson has also hit the portal. And again, as Dylan mentioned in the chat, Austin, that was a kind of a crazy situation as well. Let's talk through Ricky Gibson.
Yeah, and I agree with Dylan's sentiment in the chat. He said it pissed him off. It pissed me off too. It really pissed me off. This is the one that bothered me. I understand why we didn't pay Lance Hurd, right? Like because he probably has an offer for $3 million. Let's be honest. He probably does. I don't know what school it is. I'm not sure. He probably has an offer though. So it's like, okay, we're going to prioritize other things, and they're probably going to plug Perry back at tackle. Okay, whatever, fine. But the Gibson thing irritated me because Dude, you first of all, I think a lot of our fans overrated him in 2024. I think he was helped greatly by having one of the best corners in the country, if not the best corner in the country, Jermod McCoy on the other side. That helped him greatly, and I think it bailed him out in a lot of situations. And the safety play was better that year as well, Blake. But then he gets hurt this year, and he's hurt all year. He played no significant snaps. He literally got hurt game number one. And then, and remember, add context to this, Blake. He hit the portal last season, but we retained him. So he held the gun on us last offseason, but we said, okay, we'll bring you back. And I don't know if that was before or after Jamad got hurt. If it was after, and it probably was, that's even worse because it's like, hey, he's hurt. You have to pay me now because look, I'm your guy. And he ended up being wrong because he ended up getting hurt as well. And then he doesn't play at all this season. He adds no value after we paid him a healthy amount last year to do nothing. He did nothing for us last year. And I don't know what we paid him. I just know it was a good amount because he hit the portal after 2024 season wanting more money. And we did it. We gave him the money. But then you do it again? Like, you want another raise after not playing at all in 2025? Makes absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. It's kind of ridiculous in my opinion. It's a little bit ridiculous because how are you asking for a raise when you didn't even play? You didn't even play. So like, what are you getting a raise from, dude? We didn't see you play. You didn't get better. You didn't even get worse. You weren't available.
It's like, man, what kind of, it's just speaks to the craziness of the college football landscape right now, brother, that these players are doing this to teams where you get paid, you hold them hostage, you are injured, you don't even play, and then you just jump ship. Now, to be fair, Ben in the chat pointed out, it could, apparently Austin Price reported that the coaching change potentially has something to do with it.
Yeah.
Look, maybe, but it's
Fair,
just
but
it's kind of crazy that that's fair, but all at the same time, it's also like, man, where do you draw the line where a school is supporting you, paying you, even though you're not
exactly.
playing, they're
I know.
helping you heal from injury, and then you jump ship. It's like, I mean, dang, dude, like what, I mean, what does it take to just get a little bit of loyalty in today's game?
It doesn't exist.
And I don't want to go off exactly, and I don't want to go off on a rant, Austin, because we're talking about portal targets, and we all, yes, backflip spaghetti. We are going to talk about the Ty Simpson rumors here soon.
Yes, we are.
We're going to talk about some other targets, so some positive things, portal updates. But Austin, it's just like, I'm like, man, gone are the days where someone wants to be a freaking Tennessee Vol, man,
I know,
and
man.
just wants to give their all for Tennessee, wants to play for the love of the game. And I get it. Like, get paid, sure, but daggum, man, I mean, you're gonna get paid. You can't just, I mean, you're getting paid. You can't be loyal as well. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like, come on.
And listen, the coaching change, it is a fair point. I do think it probably has something to do with it. But it is kind of weird. I don't know. It's just a weird situation to me, man. Again, pocketing that money, providing no value, and then once again turning the gun on the university. And we get it. We know the current landscape. Players are looking after for themselves, and it is what it is. Unfortunately, Blake, the only player that actually wanted to play here was Max Gilbert, and he sucks, so we told him to hit the road. But he actually wanted to be in Knoxville, but you also have to be good, so that's one of those things. But yeah, I'll touch on real quick because Kevin brought up Lance Hurd moving to right tackle. And I heard the rumor as well that they wanted to move
Right
David
tackle, yeah.
Sanders to left tackle and flip them again. And honestly, it wouldn't surprise me because Dakota and I got on this podcast and we railed on the same coaching staff for flipping Lance Hurd to left tackle, even though he played right tackle at LSU, and flipping God, I'm forgetting our guy's name now. Man, the guy that came from Miami. Anyways, our
Campbell,
other
right?
tackle. Yes, John Campbell. Thank you. John Campbell. And they flipped him, right? John Campbell was playing left tackle. He played it well his first year here. And then they told him, hey, go play right tackle. And our offensive line was awful because of it, by the way. It was not a good change. And
Yeah.
so it really wouldn't surprise me if the coaching staff wanted to flip them. Let me just say, I, I vehemently disagree with that assessment of thinking that you need your best tackle at left tackle, unless David Sanders himself was saying, I want to play left tackle. In that case, it's like, well, I would rather retain David Sanders than Lance Hurd. Left tackle is not more valuable than right tackle. That is a complete myth that has been kind of debunked among people who actually know football. Both tackles are extremely important. Okay, both right tackle and left tackle are extremely important. So hey, if that's why Lance left, I kind of don't blame him. Like, I wouldn't want to flip again either. I mean, you just had a successful season out at left
Right.
tackle. Why would you want to flip again? Why would you want to learn it once again, go back and forth? So whatever. I also think it was money related as well. Because I did hear the report about the 3 million, and he's not worth 3 million. But yeah, I think there's also, like, real quick before I kick it back to you, I want to talk about one other defensive guy that hit the portal, one other impactful defensive player. I'll just quickly
Yes.
touch on Amari Jefferson, the receiver from Alabama, last portal season. He's transferring. He didn't play this year. That didn't bother me. He wasn't good enough to play, I guess, because you never saw the field ever. The true freshman played over him, so that didn't bother me at all. Caleb Herring, though, is a guy that played impactful snaps this year, Blake, and that left. That one surprised me a little bit. Because defensive line, it's not like, oh, I need to go be a starter, right? It's not one of those things. Like, if you're a rotational guy, and you play a lot, then you can get to the league like that, like, no problem at all. Georgia rotates their guys a ton. They are known for that. So you got elite defensive linemen going into the NFL with not a lot of snaps compared to other positions. So that was a little surprising to me that he hit the portal. But he honestly, again, another guy that had his ups and downs. Like, he had, man, I'm forgetting what game it is, but he had 2 sacks on a single drive this season. I remember talking about it with you, and it's losing me what game it was. Maybe Arkansas. Arkansas sounds right, actually. Now that I'm thinking about it, but he had impactful moments, Blake, but nothing crazy. I think if it's one of those things where if you can keep the younger players, like a Jordan Ross, which, fingers crossed so far, we haven't heard portal news about Jordan Ross yet. Then I would do that over Caleb Herring, because overall he's been, I won't say a disappointment, but he's just an average rotational edge rusher. So that wasn't too impactful either.
Yeah, definitely going to miss Herring for sure. And, Kevin makes a great point in the chat. I mean, hey, maybe some of these guys were asked to leave. He says he's heard Knowles wants the D line to be bigger. So, hey, I mean, that's a possibility. Well, we'll say this: Max Gilbert's leaving. Thank God. He's hitting the portal. He was probably one of the ones asked to leave.
That's what I was about to say.
So yeah, so thank God for that.